Good morning, Micro App and Seymour Liddy and Alexandra G. Good morning. Oh my God. I'll be right back. I left my coffee in the car. That's not going to work. Mic check, mic check. Okay, mic's still working. Cool. All right. Got my coffee now. Got my coffee now. Now we're better. And Mazen, good morning. And Luke, good morning. And Ocean, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, okay. Not a ton to update here. Not a ton to update. Um, so actually, I'm just gonna kind of clean up a little bit, and then we'll get to chatting. Okay, bum, bum, bum. Okay, I just need to move this. You need to get kicked on down the curb here. Yeah, looks like we don't get to talk about you anytime really soon. Is there anything else I can clean up on here? I really want it to be as clean as possible today. Well, that's gonna have to do. That's gonna have to do. Bup, 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 bum. Bup, bup, bum, bup, bup, bum, bup, bup, bum. All right. So, man, I'm trying to remember. I swear I had something in between, and I probably deleted it because it didn't work. Never confirmed, but I thought I had something between these two. Irrelevant though. Fast news. All upward structure all the way through there until we interact with this high right here, which was one of the ideas we were looking at yesterday. As we interact with that high right there, we lose our 3 minute structure, put in a lower high, kind of break that low, and get a decent move down, really mitigating this prior section of price action right here. I wonder how far we did mitigate that. Yeah, right about to the 50% line. Um, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Cool. Get a lift up off of there. I was hands off on this. I got a little bit of a. I got in kind of late on this. I did not make it back to the charts until from yesterday's stream until like yeah, like right here. Yeah, that's like just after 5 o'clock my time. That's like right when I made it back. So like I got a little bit of that. Not a lot of it, a little bit. Now what do we got going on? Now what do we got going on? So we come back up, boom, touch. Really, this is the break here. Um, like I was considering this earlier this morning. I was considering this. But I did not like how market open played today. I did not like this. Let's see, 6:30 is here. Yeah, this, well, mainly this action here. I just did not like that. I did not like that. It looked like an ugly mess to me. And my worry was even if we were going to come, down from this general zone here, that like we could see it knocked out to like the top side before heading down. So I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Not to mention it's just wiki all. It's just wiki, wiki, wiki all throughout here. Um, yeah. So I guess that's a roundabout way to say um, I don't. I don't have any immediate. Yeah, anything I immediately love. Let's see if I can find something. I don't know. Maybe I can find something. Maybe I can. So there's like kind of like 1 hour structure there. That's so high up. Yeah, I don't. I was peeking around this morning, but I'm not so convinced that I'm gonna find something locally here. And even though I feel like it's time to go lower, um, I'm just not. I'm just not seeing. I'm just not seeing a clear entry. I'm just not. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it, which happens. It happens. It happens. It happens. Yeah, it's a tricky week. Seymour Lydia, seen his comment. I agree. It's been a tricky week. So because I just don't have anything that I love, like say this area is slightly interesting, but I'd be kind of surprised if we mitigate up that high. I kind of would. Yeah, I kind of feel like if you're coming up to this area, then it's time to like purge some more liquidity. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't love it. I just don't love it. I don't love it. So we're gonna find something more interesting to talk about because I'm just gonna. What is it? Thursday now? Yeah, most of the steam for the week for me. I think it's probably gone. I think it's probably gone. I don't think there's whatever. It always surprises me, right? It always surprises me. So I guess I shouldn't be so boohoo about it. Um, what I wanted to kind of talk about was um, just a little bit of range theory. Figured I'd talk about a little bit of range theory today. Um, I'm still. Let me say a couple more things about this chart before we move on. Um, I don't like this position. As a matter of fact, wow, gosh, see, I'm going to leave it on here. What can I do to make it less important? We'll make it kind of invisible. That's what we'll do. Yeah, yeah, something like that. More invisible. Yeah, yeah. I want to stop looking at that. Okay. Oh, yeah. I recall what I was going to say. I recall what I was going to say now. Um, very interesting place in price right here. Very interesting place in price. And considering I'm staring at a line without an alert on it right now, let's first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fix that. I want an alert on here, and I absolutely want it once for bar, and I want to say range. Hi. Yep, that's what I want. Okay, so we got that. All right, now we'll go. Yeah, this is it's a pretty important level. Like if you fail that level, hey, caramba. So let's see if I can. Let's see if I can talk about some range theory. It's all in my head. I'm just trying to figure out how to get it out of my head and onto a canvas. Let's start by drawing a range. Okay, let's start. Here we go. I'm going to use this to just kind of indicate our sort of areas of price, right? Like our range, if you will. And then I'm not gonna talk about this section. We're just gonna talk going forward here. So we're gonna hypothesize and say we see failure at the high. Let me try and be maybe a little bit more clean about this. So we see some failure up here at the high, and we're looking for a rotation back down to the low. Cool. All right, no problem. Um, so as price kind of starts curving down here. So that goes down. That's the less bullish variety that I just drew. But as it starts kind of curving down here, what's happening is anybody that was sort of involved in this area, right? Like all their SLs or whatever's left of their positions, all are getting taken out by this move, right? And then you achieve the bottom of the range, and maybe we see a little action like this, right? Now, all this liquidity is gone. It's all been addressed, including that one. So, like, where are the dollars to move the price? They've all transitioned from here. Now, let's use a highlighter for this. They've all transitioned from here to here. They've all transitioned to there. And so you tend to see price start rolling back up to take that sort of liquidity out, right? And then maybe we get some more failure here. Now we have run into the exact same problem, right? Whereas we had all the liquidity here, but we just took it out, failed to really have any manner of a breakout, instead broke market structure here. So this liquidity is taken and all of that is gone. What's remaining now is this stuff, right? So it starts kind of sucking all that stuff up, coming down, coming down. Actually, let me redraw that part real quick. Let me redraw that real quick. And then we see that flip here. So again, same idea. We've taken out all of this liquidity, including this liquidity, and so there's only really one thing left on the table at this point, and that's these guys here. And so it's kind of how price will tend to why it tends to range, right? Rather, like kind of the functioning mechanics behind that, if you will. Um, is it true that the market has changed? And if so, how it stays this way? Is it true that the market has changed? I don't know. Market seems pretty similar to me. I don't know about. I don't know. I wonder what you're asking there, Mazen. Um, is it true that the market has changed? I wonder what you mean by that. And the other thing I was going to say about a range is, sometimes some people are really tuned into ranges. Others have a little bit of a harder time identifying them, because you can see things like, our two original range points were here and here, but then price kind of can present like sort of just sloppy if you're not really paying attention to it. They tend to expand themselves, and they might meander in a direction or another. But it's just this concept of like how liquidity builds and then gets run, and then builds more up below it and then gets run, and then builds it up above it and gets run back the other way. For anybody who didn't know that, I just thought I'd share it. I just thought I'd share it because I don't have a whole lot of really interesting stuff to talk about on Bitcoin today. So I figured we'd do a little bit of that action. Maybe not my best explanation, but is what it is. Is what it is. Do you use? Thank you, Luna Moon. I appreciate that. Do you usually do enter as the chotch happens in the supply or demand area, or do you wait for the mitigation after the chotch? Very good question, and I wish I could tell you that my answer is the same all of the times. So let's say I don't know. We're just looking at a market structure change. So I think his question is, do I enter? So we break structure here. Yeah, let's get a solid line on that, right? So I believe his question is, do I enter here or do I wait for the mitigation uh, and the continuation, right? And the answer is yes, but no. But no. So yeah, I believe he's asking, do I enter here or do I enter here? It's kind of situational. Um, it's kind of situational. That's the best thing I can tell you. One thing that will definitely affect my decision making on this is if we're, let's see if I can even draw this well enough. Um, I'm trying. Bear with me. All right. So, how do I want to do this? Yeah, we're gonna draw this variety first. This is tedious, but I want it to make sense, so bear with me. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's one model. It's close enough. It's as close as I think I'm gonna be able to get this morning. This is gonna be another model. Okay, so in this model here, I will tend to um, only enter half of my position on the break. And the reason I will only enter half of my position on the break in this type of a model is because directly underneath it, there is still unmitigated demand, right? So in this type of a model, I like to, the question really comes down to, do you see a reason for it to break and then retrace back up into supply, right? Can you identify a reason for this to happen, for it to break and then come back in to supply? And in this case, I have a little bit more of a reason for that to happen. Now, you do not always get the mitigation. So it's like, you probably like, that's why I want to have some exposure in this situation. But but because I have demand right below me, and I haven't really found out, is demand going to be in control or is supply going to be in control, then I like to save some of the position to add it during a mitigation. And sometimes when I enter on the break and I enter with a half a position size and it doesn't mitigate, like, it just is what it is. It's a cheap trade. I don't make as much money. Whatever, it is what it is. In a situation like this, though, where everything's kind of getting mitigated on the way up. These are demands. Let's do this right. Okay. Um, these are all getting mitigated on the way up. Well, then when the break happens, I'm going to be more tempted to enter my full position size um, kind of on the break. Like I feel more comfortable about it because it looks like it wants to run all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like looking at that as dollar signs, or I was hoping to illustrate a curve in here. I didn't get it. I only got really a straight line. But a situation like this is that's something where I'm more comfortable being more aggressive at the break um, than something closer to this. This I'm less comfortable being as aggressive at the break. Um, so yeah, that is the best way I can answer that. I will use a combination of two. Like first of all, if anything is affecting my confidence of the play, then I'm absolutely not entering a full position at the break, right? If for whatever reason, right, and we all have a bunch of them. It could just be a gut feeling. It could be so many different things, right, that are affecting your confidence on entering into a trade. Anytime I'm lacking, like I feel like I'm lacking confidence on making an entry, I do not enter 100% of my position. I will save to see if I can, average my entry in better. And especially like in a circle. Let's say I have entered here, right here, right, and then I see price coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up, and it just never starts printing bearish candles, right? And it just keeps printing bullish candles, bullish candles, bullish candles. Okay, well, an SL is getting hit in that scenario, right? Because an SL, for me, would exist above this high anyway. And so again, if I lack confidence and see some manner of support down here, and I'm still trying to find out is supply or demand in control, that's a really good time for me to consider reducing my entry position. Um, yeah, and then sometimes the opposite happens again, and it just and whatever is what it is. Just is what it is. You didn't lose money. I would, yeah. It's all about my confidence right here. Like there's certain things more from a scalping kind of perspective where I'll be a little bit more risk adverse. Um, but then there's certain things that'll present on the chart that is just like I'm sure I can find something to go to like the 1 hour where it would just be like a kind of a no brainer to short into it, right? Like okay, so like this is one right here. This would be an example for me where I would be much more comfortable entering a full position size. And the reason for that, again, is it's what I was illustrating up here. It's because let's move to the left of where that break occurred. Let's maybe take the magnet off of this. So our break occurred right here. All of this has been mitigated, right? All of these demand ranges were had mitigated themselves, so that looks like a clean run. That looks like a clean run through that. Um, Whereas this one here, like this is almost a perfect example. Um, this one here, this sell to buy that broke structure from left to right that produced an inefficiency that as we came up from this zone, we ended up cracking highs like that. So this area right here, this area had not been mitigated, right? So let's throw a little box on this guy and let's get him over to the right now. So as this breaks here into that section, that's an example of where I would rather not enter a full position here. I would rather wait to see if we can get some lift out of demand and find a mitigation up a little bit further, right? And that's without going down into like small time frames and really dissecting this, but just to provide an example of like where I would change that approach up. That's a pretty good example, right? And then especially like when you go to follow on this break, you know what I mean. Like that this is already mitigated, um, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. And then what's below it is just a lot more stop losses, just a lot more stop losses. So that's a little bit of a indication of where I would do that. Caught on that one yesterday and stopped out. Um, I mean, I got stopped out of that. I got stopped out of that for sure. Okay, and then there was another thing I wanted to talk about this morning because again, and by the way, you guys feel free to throw me another chart to look at. I'm really just a Bitcoin trader, so if you want me to look at anything else, I'm down to do it. I just don't have a lot to talk about on Bitcoin, so I figure if I'm going to come on, I better talk about something. And I do want to just take a pause, or want to, yeah, I want to talk about this. Let's talk about this. Risk amount in U.S. dollars. This, and I'm sorry that doesn't. The template just isn't the best way to explain that. But I want to make sure everybody's like really clear on this because and the reason I bring it up, I try to bring this up occasionally because this has to do with compounding accounts. And to me, this here is what actually makes you money. And this stuff is all just a determination of potential directions and stopping points. This is where the money is made. Yeah, Luke, I got stopped out on that thing too. I'm just pausing here really quick because I want to see if anybody has questions on this concept. So any manner of participation will get me to move on to something else. Like if anybody said, yeah, that makes sense, I'm familiar with that, or no, that doesn't, can you explain more? Anybody who wants to provide that can determine the direction of where we head next on the stream. Oh, sorry. I suppose I should leave that up. Trying to figure that out right now. Okay. Let's put on a short position. Okay. Let's put on a short position. Let's go into the tool and let's say we have a $10,491 account size and we want to risk 1% of that. So this calculation here is what achieves these numbers. Can I? No, I don't think I can. So where you see that, like the target of the trade, um, your your account amount. If you use this math right here, this math, then when you achieve your target, your account balance should have gone from the we have to look in here for it. It should have gone from $10,491 to $11,059.61 if you did the math correctly. If you did the math correctly, that is the only way you can achieve this number right here. So the risk amount in US dollars is 1% of this number divided by the SL dollars. The stop loss on this is $1,522.10 divided by the stop loss dollars equals the amount of asset traded. I can't pull a calculator out and share it on stream because it's just the way OBS is set up. I'm sharing an application and not like a screen or a window. But essentially, in this circumstance with Bitcoin, if you take the risk amount in US dollars, that's $104.91, divide that by the SL dollars. So we're dividing 104.91 by $1,522.10. That is going to give you a decimal of something. Actually, let me pull out a calculator. I'll do it on the side. You won't be able to see it, but we'll do the math on the side and walk through it. So we've got a risk of 104.91 divided by 1522.1 equals 0.0689. That would be the amount of Bitcoin you need to put on this trade, right? That would be the amount of Bitcoin that you have to put on that. Now, that's why that equals the amount of the asset traded. Multiply asset traded times the entry. So now we are going to multiply that amount, that 0.0689. We're going to multiply that by the entry of 78,540. So times 78,540 is going to equal $5,413. So we had our Bitcoin amount of 0.069 Bitcoin. Translate that into US dollars, that's $5,413. Now we have to take that $5,413 and we have to divide that by the amount in our portfolio. In this example, the portfolio is $10,491. So we're going to divide that 5413.33 by 10,491, and we are going to get a value of 0.5. Let me just double check this math here real quick. So all of a sudden that doesn't make any sense to me. I think I'm so confused right now. I do this all the time, and all of a sudden, it's like that. You ever had that situation where you're like, you maybe you type really well, but then if somebody watches you type, you don't type well at all anymore. That's what I'm feeling like right now. So bear with me just a moment. Let me double check some stuff. Where's the thing I want? Where is the thing I want? There we go, and there, and here. 491. Where did I mess up the math? The text on my screen over there, I promise you that's correct. I did something wrong on my side, and I feel like an idiot right now. We're short, and entry is 78,540, and SL is 80. No. Wait. What number did I come up with? Oh, yeah. Okay. My bad. We're good. So that number that we came up with, 0.05, yeah, that is your minimum leverage. It was really throwing my head off because the value was less than one, and I just like never run into that almost when I'm actually trading. So you got to take that number and round it up because that means that it's trying to give you your minimum leverage that you will need for the trade, and it's providing a value less than one, but you can't trade with less than one, right? So you need a minimum of one. Um, Whereas if you start to really refine your stop loss, then you will find that your leverage will require a minimum greater than one. So let's redo the math on this. So we've got the same risk amount, which is $104. Sorry. And I'm not even looking at chat because I only have so many windows to work with over here. So we're going to redo this. Come on, come on, come on, computer. Stop being such a headache. 104, I'm just going to knock off the decimals. So we're going to take our 104 in US dollars and we're going to divide that by the stop loss dollars. And the stop loss dollars in this case is 546. So divide by 546 equals 0.19. That's the value in Bitcoin. Multiply by the entry times 78, 540 equals $14,960. So, boom, all of a sudden we see right now there is going to be a minimum leverage needed for this trade because the amount of money that I have to put on this trade in order for my account balance to go to $12,073 if executed correctly, I have to put $14,960 on the trade. Well, we've already determined your boy ain't got that. He's got 10,491, right? So now we know we need a minimum amount of leverage on this as attributed. So now we got to divide that by the portfolio amount of 10,491. And we're going to see that we need a 1.4 leverage on this. Again, you're going to probably need to round that up to 2. So just, there we go. All right, I'll stop blabbing about that. I'll stop. Where'd my window go? Where are you guys at? You guys are somewhere on this computer. Let me find you again. Cool. All right. Now, I have just a couple minutes left. So, if anybody wants to chat about anything else, let me know. Let your boy know, and we'll go over that stuff. And then I gotta go. Yeah, screenshot that for sure. Screenshot that for sure. Um, and then let me see. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can trick OBS here real quick. Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do. Can I add another source? Can I add a not a video capture, like a screen capture? Um, Chrome. If it's gonna let me do this. I may just be jacking up my stream entirely in an attempt to do this, so bear with me. And then now I don't want display application. Okay. I think I did this correctly. I don't know if I've ever heard of candle theory. This calculator here is really what I use when I'm doing this stuff, right? And you have the option of taking setting long or short, what your risk amount's going to be, what your portfolio size is going to be. It's going to spit out your minimum leverage. The only thing you ever have to enter on this is, you have to keep this updated. You have to enter your entry and your stop loss, and then it's going to provide to you a minimum leverage that you have to use. And then it's also going to say, like I pretty much typically use 60x leverage, right? So on a 60x leverage, it's going to tell me the amount of margin or the percent of my account that I need to put on the trade, right? So, um, yeah, it's a really, really handy calculator. Really handy calculator. Shoot me a DM or at me if you don't have a copy of that and would like a copy of that calculator. What did I do? I lost you guys again. Did I like really lose you guys? Oh, there you are. I found you guys. I found you guys. Um, yeah. Oh, injective. Cool. Let's take a look at injective. And yeah, candle theory is range and candle theory the same thing? I've just never heard the term candle theory before. I've just never heard it. What do we got on injective? Hmm. There's something there. Why can't I find it? Interesting. Okay, well, we're going to pick on that one. Close enough. Close enough. All right. Let's see. So this break came down and smoked that liquidity. So we delete all that stuff. That's all old news. Get all that stuff off of there. It's all irrelevant now. I've been looking at this as a possible spring for a while now. Um, hmm, hmm. What this here? Double this thing up. I think all I can do is provide wishful thinking on this. I don't know why. Like, even though I see an accumulation on this, I still want to short it. I have problems. I got problems. Let me put it this way. Uh, it is. it's too far up right now for me to want to long it. So you're going to have to talk to me later about longing. I can't long. Um, I cannot long. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. No, I can't do it. It's just too high up for me to want to buy it. I like to buy low, not high, right? Like buying. Yeah, I mean it's old news, but buying the sweep of that range low, that would have been more up my alley than trying to long something up here. So let me just that's I just need to get that out of the way. Because what I'd really like to see is I'd like to see these general lows hold. Um, I'm fine with even coming back down into demand a little bit more clearly. But what I'd really like to see is I'd like to see this. That's what I would be watching out for. And I would take that to here first, and I would take it to here second. Probably more specifically, like here. Like if I had to give you a single level, um, yeah, I'd like to take. I'd like this is what I'd like to see. I'd like to see this. I'd like to take it here, and then really be monitoring for any sort of flip inside of here, but possibly down to there. And then I'm only really getting way ahead of myself with my next statement. But I would then like to see it come back up into the newly formed demand, or I'm sorry, supply, and mitigate for further continuation down and knock out all of that liquidity, and then talk about buying it down in those areas. That's what I'd like to say. Can't see your chart. That's weird. Can't see. Oh, I still have that weird thing running on OBS too. Let me fix that. Let's delete this. Let me delete this. Remove. That ought to do it. My bad. I forgot I still had that other screen shared there. My mistakes. See, that's why I should have never pulled that other thing up. That's why I should have never pulled that other thing up. Just jacked up my whole stream, and then we want a short Matic, huh? That's the 4 hour chart. What's happening? Okay, okay. Maybe. I mean, if it works, it's going down a good clip. I think I think it's like a straight shot all the way to 43 cents. But that's a pretty aggressive approach. That's pretty aggressive. We're already all the way through this. I just feel like ultimately we need to at least challenge that high. Um, which I could be totally wrong about, obviously. But we're already halfway through this, so I don't love that. I mean, we probably have to watch the local structure and just see what. Let's take a look at this. Hmm, hmm, okay, okay, okay. So I think whomever mentioned that. Yeah, hey, Alex, congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. Ah, so happy for that dude. So happy for that dude. This was supply up here anyway. Maybe, man. I don't know. It just doesn't look attractive enough for me to involve myself in it. Like maybe. But I don't feel great about this. I'm going to be honest. I don't feel great about that at all. Where was that high I wanted? Yeah, that high's all the way up there. Nah, I don't feel particularly great about that. Um, I mean, you did squiggle up. I gotta go. Like, I'm gonna have to go like directly after this. But we kind of did sort of squiggle up here and break and mitigated all the way up to the top block right there and came down and then put in another break. But this high still has a job to do, and its job was to take out that low. Um, Guess we haven't formed bullish structure yet. We haven't taken out anything exterior. Um, hmm, I get it. I get it. I'm gonna tell you what has me nervous is this. That's what has me nervous about it. Um, but if it works, it probably work really well. It probably work really, really well. Um, like I would absolutely have to take profit there though. Uh, if this worked and it got you to 51 cents, I would be 100% de-risked by the time we got down there. Yeah, with like a little bit of money in the pocket and SL like in profit, I wouldn't even play around with that. And then after that, it's going to get really bloody. Yeah, after 51, it's going to get really bloody. But I don't know, just not. Watch that be the best trade I see all week. But I'm scared about it. I'm scared about it. I'll just say it. I'm scared about it. So if I'm scared about it, what is something that I can do to make myself feel better? And to make me feel better would clearly be would just take it from here. Would clearly be changing this flow. Yeah, see, this high is still intact, so no, that doesn't count. Yeah, this flow needs to like change, and I hope it doesn't have to go all the way down there to change, because my target would be really close to that. So I hope it like comes up here and like changes, right? And then and only then would I be targeting back down to there. That is the one thing that would make me feel a lot better about it. Is maybe let's go to the 2 minute. I don't think we need to be on the 1 minute. Probably don't even need to be on the two. We could probably bump up to the three. Can we get it up to the five? Yeah, we got some five ish in here. Yeah, I would want to see. bare minimum. Just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. I'd want to see that high taken, and then the low that created it lost. It's not the low, goddammit. Get on the low. Um, and it's just not going to provide a great risk to reward if this happens. Well, I guess your stop loss. My stop loss would be up here in this case, not up there. It'd be right here. Um, so that might, yeah, but then my stop loss is there, but my entry's down here. Yeah, that kind of looks like a shit risk reward. Um, yeah, that looks like a shit risk reward. Better would be to break up above here and put in just something that's going to give you a better risk to reward. Cover this guy, enter in about this region for a drive down to there. That's going to be much closer to a 3R. I mean, those candles don't exist, so fucking whatever. That's my Matic. That's my Matic. And yeah, Alex, you're very welcome, bro. Ah, so excited for him. So excited for him. 5360 might be better. 5360, 5360. Um, you're kind of dealing with, yeah, higher's better. I fully agree with Seymour on that. Higher is better. Um, I struggle a little bit with 5360. I do struggle a little bit with that just because, let's see here. No, I'm not quite there. But yeah, that's going to break your, that would break your 10-minute structure bullishly. Um, so yeah, I would be very hesitant about 5322 because I would see that as having completely, like if we're going to count that as the bearish break in about this kind of zone, which doesn't even exist on the 10-minute. You got to go back to like the 5 to really even see that. But if we're going to count like this is a 5-minute break in structure, well, this would be a 10-minute bullish break in structure to clear this with a 10-minute candle body close, right? So for that reason, I would be personally for me, I would be very hesitant up there. I would see that as a return back to bullish, and I would then not want to touch it until it hit the actual high. 5 hour, 12 hours. Oh, just above where we're at. I don't know if you're talking about. Oh yeah, that I like that. That idea. That's not hateful. It's not the best looking supply. Uh, it's not the best for me, just because that inefficiency was so brief and so short lived. Like it's just barely even there. Um, tries to run back. It's just not. It's not the strongest looking piece of supply to me. It is there though. I just see that 5 hour one. I somehow missed the 12 hour one, maybe because I'm an idiot. Um, but yeah, I would. I wouldn't even be surprised to see some sort of hidden bullish divergence there. Yeah, that's about what I expected to see. Um, was this manner of like a hidden divergence, which I don't talk about this stuff often because I really try and do it the other way. Um, but yeah, I'd just be worried about that. Whether you want to take it from that, or if you're the type that wants to be below the line when you draw it, that still looks like a pretty bullish hidden divergence to me. So yeah, I would, yeah, whatever. It's just me. It could just be a me issue. Could just be a me issue. Money flow looks pretty good there. All right, I got to go, guys. I have absolutely overstayed my time, so I got to hit the road. I guess real quick, let's just pop back over to Bit. I'm going to pop back over to Bitcoin real quick, and then I'm going to be like out of here. You're going to be like, "Oh, did the stream end?" And it will have ended because I will just be gone. Of course you would, you little son of a bitch. Still looks kind of weak. Um, yeah. Man, if something else develops later in the day, I'll try and throw an update in my channel. But I'm just not going to force it. I'm not going to force it. Um, yeah, not going to force it. Adios. Bye bye.